This is a follow-up lesson to the last one where we were working with basic inequalities. The inequalities in this section get much more complex, similar to what you've seen already with equations. So the first one isn't too bad. It's just going to require multiple steps. We want to collect like terms. So let me go ahead and start by subtracting 3x from both sides. So I'll have 2x's on the left, plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 10. That negative is going to carry down with the 10. Next thing, I want to try to get x by itself, so I'll subtract 8. We have 2x is less than or equal to negative 18. And finally, I'm going to divide by 2. In the last lesson, we talked about multiplication and division as being something you need to make a conscious effort to think about. Here, we've just divided by a positive number, so no need to concern yourself with it. We're going to keep the sense of the sign the same as a less than or equal to, and change it to x is less than or equal to negative 9. Just a side note, whenever you write this in formal notation, it would look like this. It's the solution set of x such that x is less than or equal to negative 9. Now, getting a little bit more complex, just a larger inequality. For this one, we're going to have to do some distributing to get started. I'm going to have to distribute the 4, and on the right-hand side, distribute the 2. So 4x plus 12 plus x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 2x minus 2. Let's combine like terms on the left first. And by like terms, I mean here the x's. 4x plus 1x is 5x. The numbers 12 and negative 4 are like terms. Together, they're plus 8. Let's move the 2x to the left. In order to do that, though, we're changing sides, so I'm going to have to subtract it. Now I have 3x's plus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Let's subtract 8 next. 3x is greater than or equal to negative 10. And finally, I'm going to divide by 3. Once you do that division, think to yourself, did I multiply or divide by a negative number? In this case, we did not, so the sign stays the same. It's going to be x is greater than or equal to negative 10/3. Formally, this is the solution set of x such that x is greater than or equal to negative 10/3. The most challenging of all, inequalities with fractions. Just like equations with fractions, your very first goal is to try to get rid of them. We don't want them in there anymore. So I think the best thing to do is to multiply by the common denominator. Here, the denominators are 2, 6, and 4. The common denominator for all three of those numbers is going to be 12. So let me go ahead and multiply each one of these by 12. Now, since this is small, I'm going to recopy this just so we can work with it a little easier. That 12 now allows you to go back in and reduce. And if you chose the correct common denominator, there shouldn't be any more fractions. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 goes into 12 twice. and 4 goes into 12 3 times. You'll notice how all of my denominators have now been reduced to 1. So now it's just a matter of multiplication. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18n's. 2 times 1 is 2n's. And 3 times 3 is just 9. I'm going to combine like terms next. These two are on the same side, and what that means is we'll just combine them together. There's no need to undo by adding or subtracting. Negative 18 plus 2 is negative 16n's. And to finish, I'm going to divide by negative 16. So you have to think to yourself, did I multiply or divide by a negative here? And the answer is yes. So we're going to have to change the sense of the sign or flip it the other way. It's currently a less than, now it's going to be a greater than. The answer is n is greater than negative 9/16. Or more formally, the answer is n such that n is greater than negative 9/16.